Hey, welcome to this training. I'm glad you made it here, and I'm excited to teach you a couple of life-changing things that you won't learn anywhere else. By the end of this compact training, you will be able to become what I call a freedom lifestyle designer. As a freedom lifestyle designer, you're capable of creating the life you desire by being in charge of 3 decisive aspects of your life. Number 1, you will understand how to make a living of what you enjoy doing every day. Number 2, you generate income without working too much, so you have time for things that matter to you. Friends, family, fun activities, and time for yourself and whatever is important to you. And number 3, you'll be able to increase your income without working more because you establish flows of income that don't require your time. Does any of this sound like what you want for your life? Good, then you came to the right place in the right moment, because this video won't be online for free for a long time. And by the way, by the end of this video, you will receive a blueprint that will make it really easy to implement the strategies we're discussing here. So don't worry about taking notes and try to really absorb the concepts that I'll be presenting here. Are you ready? Cool, then let me introduce myself real quick and then we'll dive right in. I'm Eduardo, co-founder of Dreamcatchers. I went through multiple changes in my life to get to the amount of freedom I have today. I started with the typical route of studying business and then being an employee for large corporations. I never loved that, and I never saw myself living the typical treadmill life until I'm 65 and then hopefully have a retirement and be healthy enough to enjoy my last years. What I wanted was independence to do what I enjoy on a daily basis and plenty of time to spend with people and activities that I really care about, and also have a good income to feel safe. But for years I was stuck in those so-called good jobs in the corporate world, and over the years the inner conflict made me feel more and more miserable, very often depressed. My hope was that I was able to create my dream life on the side and on my own. But I kept those false hopes up until the pain became too big. I ended up completely burned out and with daily anxiety, really. That was the turning point for me when I decided to crack the code to achieving the freedom I desired for so long. And over the last 3 years, everything changed. From working in corporate offices to working on my passion projects by the beach here in LA or wherever I want. From dedicating most of the times to products I couldn't care less about, to working on projects that I enjoy so much I would actually do them for free. From being at the mercy of an employer to give me a raise, to increasing my income multiple times a year. From having to ask for a few days of vacation to feeling like I'm on permanent vacation, not only because I'm in beautiful places, but also because on most days I generate income with just working a few hours. We only have one life and it's short. Now, I want to inspire you to experience the sensation of daily joy and fulfillment that comes from the freedom of increasing income and time available. Are you ready to find out how that could work? Perfect, then let's go. So to give you an idea, as a freedom lifestyle designer, you'll be able to, number 1, choose what to generate an income with because you know how to generate a business model based on something that you enjoy or love doing. Whether that is arts, crafts, consulting, healing, a product, software, sports, investing, teaching, it doesn't matter. In my case, for instance, it was music production, and trust me, even I thought it was impossible to make money with music production. Number 2, you'll be able to design your business in a way that you can drastically reduce the amount of hours in a very short period of time. And to give you an idea, I make almost double of what I need to live in less than 10 hours of work a week. You'll be able to increase your passive income so you can upgrade to whatever is important to you, whether that's traveling or your living situation or a fancier lifestyle. For me, for instance, I like to travel about 6 months a year, but I also like to live here by the beach in LA, which happens to be one of the most expensive cities in the world. So can you start picturing how much your life quality will increase once you have all that freedom? Nice, then I need your attention now so I can help you get there. In theory, it's easy. All you need to understand is how to achieve the 3 pillars of freedom. The first pillar is the freedom to have an income from something that truly matters to you. Number 2 is the freedom to reduce active work hours. And number 3 is the freedom to increase your passive income. Most people believe that they can't have those 3 types of freedoms at the same time. They believe, for instance, if your job is something that you're passionate about, then it's not a job that can make you rich. Or probably the most common one is if you want to make a lot of money, then you have to work like crazy and you won't have both time and money. So how is it possible to not compromise any of those freedom pillars? Here are the 3 secrets to achieving each one of the pillars so you understand how it's possible. Are you intrigued to finally know them? Then let's go. To achieve pillar number 1, how to make an income from doing what you love. Let's solve the big mystery. How can you create a business from virtually anything that you value and that you enjoy and that fulfills you? I'm going to start explaining it with an example of the most difficult project that I managed to monetize. My passion for the last 20 years is to produce music and to work with musicians from different musical cultures. In 2014, with a friend, we started a project called Root Notes, where we created songs and a documentary with musicians in 20 different countries that we traveled to. We thought we could sell it to Netflix or to a network or something. However, after 2 years of pitching and negotiating, we never closed a deal, and it was devastating. Then I realized I have worked as an employee for over 15 years. Why am I once again trying to be under a contract with a corporation just to end up having to fulfill somebody else's goals? If I care about working independently with musicians, how can I bring value to those musicians? What brought me value before that I can now provide to these fellow artists? I started the Root Notes Academy and I taught musicians how to finish their track with a good sound quality so they were able to release them. It felt so good to support those who I care about and to bring value to them and being paid for it. I was making a living from the first month, and additionally I was enjoying to work with all these musicians and to make more music. So my main point here is, if something is valuable to you, there's a group of people called your target group that will value the same thing. And it doesn't have to be teaching them something. There are many ways to deliver value. Once you decided what you want to provide value, the rest is straightforward marketing strategy. And the strategy goes, step 1, you generate traffic with videos, ads, emails, podcasts or something. And step 2, you convert prospects to customers via a landing page or a call or whatever is suitable for the offer. I repeated this process successfully with my own projects and my clients' projects over a dozen times now. There is a business model for any niche, industry, and offer, whether it's arts, handcraft, software, sport, anything. The approach makes sense to you, right? Okay, then let's move on to pillar number 2, how to reduce work hours without reducing earned income. First of all, it's super valid if your fear is that you end up spending a lot of time running a business. Time is our most precious asset, so you need to design your business with a proven system to not end up in the overworking trap. After successfully building and running 5 different types of businesses, I know that the key to lasting success is to figure out what matters to each business and to make it as repeatable and optimized as possible. Let's take a look, for instance, how with a friend we went from working full-time to working less than 5 hours a week on a joint business. He is a pianist and he found a way how to put babies to sleep with music. Our customers are parents who want to achieve the same thing. So let's break down how we reduced our work time. In the beginning, my friend had to explain how to use the music to every potential customer individually until he recorded a video and explains everything, and that's how people now purchase the music. In the beginning, we answered all the customer questions in a new email, and at some point we figured we need templates and hired a person for the support part, so we are no longer involved. At first we tried many different ads until we found the ones that resonate most with the target group, and now they run over months before we create new ones. And everything else is optimized as well. The checkout process, the product delivery, the special offers, and so many more things. By now, neither him or me work more than 5 hours a week on this. So basically, to drastically reduce your work hours, you look at everything that brings value to your customers and you systemize it, outsource it in a way so it doesn't compromise the value. There are tools and ways to effectively outsource most of the tasks, even sales. It's pretty simple, right? Okay, moving on to pillar number 3, how to increase your passive income. Let's solve the third big problem. How in the world do you make more money while working less and less hours? Honestly, I was most skeptical about this for the longest time, but also the most intrigued. For me, being overworked and stressed was the standard, and it was affecting my health. Fortunately, on my quest to freedom, I found the last missing piece, the effects of semi-passive and complete passive income. I call types of income that require a few hours of work a week semi-passive. As an example was the project that I mentioned in pillar number 2, where I still work 5 hours a week, but there are also types where you don't work at all, and I call those complete passive incomes. Right now I have 4 semi-passive income streams that I work for a few hours a week, and 5 complete passive income streams that I don't work for at all. Now the system to reduce work hours and increase income goes like this. Step 1, you build a business that generates income. Step 2, you systemize, automate, and outsource until you need just a minimum amount of time to run it. Step 3, once you regain that time, you repeat the process with a second business until you make more than what you need for living. And finally, the decisive step is that once you have that extra capital, you invest that in syndicated real estate projects. In case you're not familiar, there are companies that raise capital from a group of private investors to buy commercial real estate. They manage the property and they distribute the earnings to the investors on a monthly basis. With the right provider, the benefits can be incredible. For one, it gives you a super stable return even in a crisis. Number 2, it gives you monthly income from the rents which are distributed to the investors. On top of that monthly completely passive income, in 5 to 10 years, the property value can double and you cash out twice of what you invested. And additionally, the tax benefits are unbelievable. So you pay just a fraction of what you would be paying as an employee. And this is, by the way, how many rich people get away without paying taxes. So I will tell you exactly how I went through the 5 steps. I worked full-time for 2 months to launch my first offer, which covered my living expenses of about $3,000. Then I systemized as much as possible over the next 2 to 3 months until running the business required only 5 or 10 hours of work a week. Once at that level, I started working on the next offer. Then I systemized that second business again. At this time, hiring and training people, since it was a different type of business. Now I had 2 income flows, and together they exceeded my monthly living expenses by $3,000 or $4,000. And after a few months, I had $20,000 saved up, and I invested them in syndicated real estate project, which started to pay me out on a monthly basis additionally. Half a year later, I was able to make the next investment, this time for a higher amount, and by now I get monthly income from 5 complete different passive income streams. And that's how over time I get more and more income from the investments that I don't have to work for at all, and I get more and more time for the things that matter in life without having to wait for my retirement. So long story short, 4 years ago I started from complete zero. I had given up my well-paid job in a good company and a year before, and I had just enough savings to live off for a few more months. Now I make almost double of what I made in that so-called well-paid job, and I work less than a fourth of what I used to work. And equally important, I enjoy what I do 50 times more. Okay, so I hope I was able to give you all the insights so you can understand how it can be possible to, number one, enjoy what you do every day, number two, not having to work like crazy, and number three, to increase your income while reducing your work time. It's pretty good, right? I wish somebody would have shown me these tools and systems and ways of thinking years ago, but I had to find them on my own, and it took too long, honestly. That's why my ultimate goal now is to teach you everything you need on your way to independence and freedom. Now, most likely, you want to know a lot more details, am I right? You probably want to know, how do you create an offer that people happily pay for? You might want to know all the exact steps for the marketing so you don't waste a lot of time and money on this. And you possibly want to know how exactly to invest so it's a safe investment. Probably you want to know a lot more things, am I right? I get it, so let me ask you, are you interested in getting my support with learning all these things so you don't spend years on trying to do it on your own like I did?